Welcome to the Sharpe Show. So happy to have you with me this evening. A little bit past 7:30 on the East Coast. And again, I always am thinking, what do I want to talk about in any given day? And things change all the time, obviously. So I was trying to figure out what is the exact right thing to chat about today. And I thought, Trump is overseas. Why don't I chat about Trump being overseas? Because is his foreign policy working? And I think a lot of people are thinking, well, maybe it is, but he's screwing this up. But there is a bunch of, there's a bunch of uncertainty. People are unhappy, all those pieces. And, maybe that's true. But I kind of wanted to walk through some of the things that he's going through, because foreign policy to me is important. And with his recent trip, he said some things that, who knows if they actually are, but he said some things that were libertarian-like, right? He did say some things. Let's hope that's true. I guess we'll see. But I tried to find a video that was kind of going to cover the ideas that I want to talk about. And there were several I want to talk about. One of them I want to talk about was the Middle East, obviously. He's there now. But I also want to talk about Ukraine. I want to talk about the Israeli fights, the India-Pakistan fights, tariffs, the China deal, the UK deal, all those types of things I want to cover because they're all foreign policy related. And as I told you, many of you who are RFK Jr. fans, you were talking about, well, is he going to help out RFK Jr.? And I told you, he's probably going to ignore most of that stuff internally. He's probably going to focus heavily on foreign policy because that's where his biggest challenges are right now. And you see it. That's absolutely true. His biggest challenges are right now foreign policy, and he's going to focus on those. And he thought he could quickly negotiate some of these things. I knew he couldn't, and it's taking him more time. That's where he's focusing. So I want to bring up, if I could, a good video on his trip abroad. That's what I was saying, trip abroad. And we can chat about that because I think that is an important piece to talk about.
For the next story, let me start by showing you two pictures.
Yep, this is very interesting.
The first one is this, a classic FBI most wanted poster. The reward is $10 million. Look at the name on it.
Money.
Mohammed al-Galani, a notorious terrorist leader. Anyone who could help track him down would walk away a millionaire.
Look at that. That's the first picture. A lot of money.
Now take a look at the second picture. That is US President Donald Trump shaking hands with a West Asian leader. Do you know who that man is? You guessed it.
Yep.
It's the very same Mohammed al-Galani.
Now, by the way, Galani actually comes from Galani, which is the Golan Heights. I wish I was joking. That's actually true. Now you might say to yourself, wait a minute, Larry. This is Donald Trump. He's talking to the bad guys. He's negotiating with the terrorists. Yeah. All you hardcore right-wingers who keep saying stuff like that, and I keep telling you how wrong you are, that you have to talk to everybody, particularly our enemies. That's how you eventually solve things. Now, it doesn't mean you don't fight them also. You can do both. You can fight and talk. That you can do. The problem is we decide to say, we're not going to talk, we're going to negotiate with terrorists. That's insanely dumb. We should not do that. We should always talk. Whether we're fighting or not, the talking should never stop as long as we're open to talk. So did he do that? He did. The thing that you're going to find here with Trump that he did recently, which I think is actually a good thing. I'm happy about this. He spoke directly to the bad guys. That's not a bad thing, right? He spoke directly to the Houthis and got a deal. And then some of you can be mad. I know some of you guys who are much more, aggressive on don't talk to the bad guys. He talked directly to the Houthis and he called them brave. Yes, do you remember that? He called the Houthis brave. Now, I know if Mike Voss is watching, he may not be watching that. He's ready to spit because he can't stand Houthis. But his boy Trump called them brave. Why did he do that? Why did Trump call them brave? Because he actually thinks they're brave? I don't know. But what Trump is, and this makes a lot of people unhappy, but this is the time that it's good and bad. Trump is transactional. That's what I say it all the time. And people think that somehow he's a conservative or he's a Republican. No, he's none of those things. He's a Republican in name because that's what gets him ahead. But he is transactional. So when he wants to deal with somebody, he calls them nice things. When they don't deal with them, he calls them bad things. It's that simple. This guy he wants to deal with, now he will call him something nice. The Houthis he wanted to deal with, he called them something nice. Literally, that's how he works. He's that transparent when it comes to that. It's nothing. There's no 4D chess here. There's no 4D chess here. It is literally, I want something from this guy. I'm going to say something nice about it. I'll shake his hand because I want a deal. That's how he thinks. And as long as he's making deals that I'm happy with, I'm okay with that. But there's a problem. You're finding people getting upset. You're finding people say, well, I don't know if he believes in it. I don't know if he cares about it. Those people are right. I don't think he believes in it, or I think that's true. My point is, I don't care. I would rather have someone who doesn't believe, isn't a true believer, but does the thing that I want to get done, than someone who believes right and just virtue signals all day, doesn't do anything. If he can pull this off, I'm not saying he can. I don't know if he can. It looks like he's doing it. If he can pull off this peace treaty, good. Good. So he's shaking hands. He's shaking hands with a terrorist. So I don't care. I'm telling you, I don't care. Let him shake hands with him all day long, but don't care. This guy, but the other thing he sees here is he sees these guys as winners. I know you're saying, Larry, that sounds silly. No. That's how he actually thinks. He dealt directly with the Houthis and got them to stop bombing Americans. He dealt directly with Hamas. Went around Israel. Bibi Netanyahu pissed. Didn't like it at all, but he did. He's like, I want my American back. So he directly with Hamas got the American guy back. This is not a bad thing. This is not a bad thing. Shelley says it. He has no issue speaking to his enemies. Yes, because if you deal with him, you're no longer his enemy. He is transactional. Yes, that's how he works. And I know in many cases that does create, and this is the bad thing. There's a bad side to this. I know right now I'm happy on this part, but the bad side is it's not stable. That's the problem. This has a downside, which is it's not stable.
Now he's no longer hiding in the shadows. He is the president of Syria. Clearly, a lot can change in 6 months. Yep. 6 months ago, Galani was a terrorist leader fighting against the Assad regime. That government, the Assad regime, collapsed last December. Yep. Bashar al-Assad fled the country. Al-Jolani took over. And now he's meeting the US president. He is the first Syrian leader to meet an American president in 25 years. The last such meeting was between Bill Clinton and Hafez al-Assad in the year 2000. Hafez was Bashar al-Assad's father.
How did you find the Syrian president?
Right. I think very good. Young, attractive guy, tough guy. You know, strong pass. Very strong pass.
Now, this is the thing that Trump actually believes. The funny thing is, Trump's not lying here. I mean, this is the funny part. Will Trump lie? Of course. I mean, he wants to make a deal, so he'll lie if need be. Of course he will. And he'll tell you that. He wrote in his book, he will lie if need be. He said it. He will. He's not lying here. Trump is actually, he is actually a whole lot simpler than people think. People always think he's playing 4D chess, but he's not. That's what makes people feel good. He's not playing 4D chess. That's not what he's doing. He never plays 4D chess. He plays like checkers, but it's just straight. It's just straight. He sees the guy who is the current president of Syria. This is how he actually sees him. That guy's a winner. That guy's tough. He said it. Tough guy. He thinks that guy's tough. He says it. He's a fighter. Trump respects that. Now you might go, but he's a terrible guy. Yes. But it doesn't matter. That is how Trump sees him. He sees him as he's a fighter. He's hardcore. That's all that matters. That's how he sees him. Peace. Thank you for the super sticker, my friend. 99 cents. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Yeah, that's how he sees him. So now he's like, okay, if you're a tough guy and you'll respect me and you'll do a deal with me and make me look good, then I'm good. Then I'm good. And this drives people crazy, and I get it. Phil, you get it. Thank you for being a member, Phil. He goes, that's what I never understood. Far-right Trump makes no sense. He's a centrist pragmatist without an ideology. I think that's true. He doesn't really have an ideology. He's got his own thought process, but he cares about getting the deal done. I honestly, I've said it before, and I keep saying it. I think he actually wants a Nobel Peace Prize. I think he does. I think he wants a Nobel Peace Prize. and he will do whatever it takes to get that Nobel Peace Prize. I think he honestly wants that. And people go, that just means he's a selfish guy. Yes. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Yes. Peace asks a question. Thank you for the $5, Peace. Larry, how are you thinking about Trump? Do you think we are better off compared to a Harris win? Definitely happy I got RFK into HHS. I am happy with RFK into HHS. I am. The change that he's going to make, which isn't perfect. In fact, for those of you who want to watch, I just did a, you can head over and see it on Rumble now. It may pop up on YouTube, but I did a segment with Kim Iverson today, talking about the minor civil war in the Maha arena. And I am satisfied. Could it be better? Of course. But I'm satisfied. I think we're getting change. And someone has to break a hole so that others can rush through that hole. Bobby Kennedy Jr. has broken that hole. Not perfectly. Made mistakes. Yes. But he's broken a hole so that others can move through. We're talking about things that we could not have talked about before. So, yeah, I'm happy about that. Is Trump better than Harris? Of course. Harris would have been exactly the same thing. Now, Trump may not be able to end the Ukraine war. I hope he can. I think it looks good that he can. It does look good. But you don't know what Putin's going to do. But it looks good. I'm hopeful. There is no way Harris would have ended the war in Ukraine. None. At zero chance she would have ended the war in Ukraine. She just would have kept feeding it. That was not ending on Harris. So absolutely, we're getting better already. Not just that. There is no change under HHS at all with Harris. There is at least some change with RFK Jr. So yes, we are better. We are better off than Harris. I think that's, in my view, absolutely true. No doubt. And we see already the Biden administration wasn't even an administration anymore. So yes, we are better off. But I still want Gary Johnson as president. I'm never getting what I want. So I guess take what I can get. I hope I answer your question.
Does that worry you at all?
He's got a real shot at pulling it together. I spoke with President Erdogan, who I'm very friendly with him.
He's also friendly with Erdogan. Now, Erdogan, he sees Erdogan the same way. Lots of people don't like Erdogan. People think Erdogan's kind of a fascist type. And it's probably true. But he doesn't care. Trump doesn't care. He does not care. He's like, he's a tough guy. He's a winner. I like tough guys. I like winners. And that guy talks to me like I'm a tough guy and a winner. Therefore, let's have a conversation. And Erdogan, as I've been speaking about for over a year now here on his channel, I've been talking about Erdogan. Erdogan is a player in the Middle East. He wants to be a player, even in the Russia-Ukraine war. Erdogan wants to be a player in the world, and he is pushing Turkey to that. That's absolutely. The Turkish nation, he's trying to bring back the image that Turkey had back in the 1800s, right? He's going to bring that image back. And probably better than anyone else in the last 100 years. He's done it better than anyone else in the last 100 years. So it is now moving towards having much more impact, a larger army, larger cash, more trade, all those things that are good. I mean, there's 90 million Turks? Is that about right? 89 million Turks. So a huge population. And they're directly involved in Syria, directly involved in this area. So yeah. And he knows this.
He feels he's got a shot at doing a good job.
Why is Trump being so good to Erdogan? He wants Erdogan's help in ending the Ukraine war. Seriously. Erdogan has already said if they want, they'll send Turkish troops, not to fight, as peacekeepers. And why would that matter? Because not that Russia or Ukraine would necessarily want Turkish troops, but they would never want Western European troops, right? Russia would never accept French or British troops in Ukraine, ever. Never would accept them at all. Would Putin accept Turks? Maybe. I'm not sure, but there's a chance he would accept Turks. He would never accept the French or the Brits. They just keep fighting. And Trump knows that. So he's like, if I keep Erdogan happy and I make him Mr. Tough Guy here in the Middle East and everything, he'll hook me up so I can end this damn Ukrainian war, because the Ukrainian war is the hard one that Trump's struggling to fix. Erdogan's a key player there.
It's a torn up country.
There's no playbook for this. Mohammed al-Galani was once a top commander of Al-Qaeda. He's now running a country. And guess who just decided to legitimize him? Donald Trump.
Yes.
He's calling him a good and attractive guy.
Why? Okay. I'm going to give you many reasons why, right? This, for some people who don't get this, they may think Trump's nuts or a madman or whatever. Nope, not at all. This Syrian guy is prepared to give Israel everything. I'm not joking. He's prepared to give everything. The funniest part is he's going to give Israel the Golan Heights, and his name is an offshoot of Golan, Jolani. Yes, that's actually, yes. He just wants to have a stable Syria that he's in control of. He doesn't mind if he has to be a little bit of a puppet. He doesn't mind. He's like, okay, can I have my country that's been at civil war for the past 15 to 20 years? I forgot how long it's been. It's been at least 15 years, right? In that area. Can I have that not be the case? Can I not have Kurds invade and Iranians invade and Turks invade and Israel's invade? Can I have that not happen? And Trump's like, yes, I'll guarantee it. Yes, I'll stop that. Do the things I'm telling you to do. I will stop those things. Part of that is making Erdogan happy, which means controlling Kurds. Again, Erdogan comes back into play, controlling the Kurds. Erdogan wants to control the Kurds. This guy will help control Kurds.
The question is why? According to Trump, it's all about one man, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
I will be ordering the cessation of sanctions against Syria in order to give them a chance at greatness.
This is the stuff I want to hear. This is the stuff that I want to hear. I've got to tell you, this stuff I want to hear. I do. I want to hear this. Phil, thank you, brother, for gifting a membership. Guys, grab a membership. Remember the rule of memberships. If you make $2 million a month or more, you may not take a free membership, right? If you make $2 million per month or more, you have to buy the membership yourself. Don't be cheap. You make $2 million a month. If you make less than $2 million a month, even if it's 1.9 million, it's fine. Take one of the free memberships. So please do so. Thank you, Phil, for that. I appreciate it. Absolutely. Look over at Rumble. Peace, thank you for the $1. I agree with your opinion from YouTube Super Chats on analysis of Trump, Harris, RFK. Come join us on Rumble. It's cozy. You can use colorful language and talk about, insert emotional topic. Yes, correct. Absolutely. Straight hands over there. He says, Trump shakes hands with bad guys, in quotes, while looking them in the eye. Did you ever see Trump sit with one knee over the other? No, because that position doesn't let any testicle area room. Yes, correct. Yes. But this is my point, right? He doesn't care, which that part I like. Wish he wouldn't do all the damn stupid tariff stuff and all that stuff, but it's fine. Whatever. Yes. Daniel, thank you for a gifted membership. Appreciate it. 2 of them, guys. Thank you. Please pick those up if you can. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Absolutely. Yes. 100%. All right. John says, but Larry, have you ever been, though? You claim German ancestry, but I don't know. A Justin Sips T with pinky in the air. I have been to Germany more than once, most recently to Berlin. But Berlin for those of you who go to Germany, Berlin isn't really, okay. Berlin is Germany, but it's not Germany. It's like New York City. New York City is America, but it's not America. Like New York City is different than America is, right? It's a whole different world. Berlin's the same. Berlin's like a different world. You want to go like Germany, go like Hamburg. Like that's Germany, right? Munich. That's Germany, right? Berlin is kind of Berlin. Anyway, but yes, I have been to Germany. To this area, I have not. So Phil says Turks in Crimea. Well, probably not Crimea, right? Because Crimea, whatever the DMZ, whatever the demilitarized zone would be, it would not include Crimea. It would be outside of those 4 or 5 provinces. I forgot how many. It's 5 provinces? I think 5 provinces. It would be outside of those provinces. So they would not be in Crimea. But yes, I like your history. Yes, they would not be there. They would be outside of that. So there we go. And Andrea also gives one. Thank you so much, guys. I love all these memberships. Please grab them. Please grab them. Thank you so much. Yes, membership does matter. The more members, the better. They love this.
Oh, what I do for the Crown Prince.
He's cracking jokes now.
The sanctions were brutal and crippling and served as an important function, nevertheless, at the time. But now it's their time to shine. It's their time to shine.
Trump is lifting sanctions on Syria, and he's doing it because he really likes MBS.
That's not true. It's not true. He's doing it because he wants a deal. This is the attack on Trump, right? And it's just not true. It's not because of that. It's because he wants a deal. That's why he's doing it.
That's what he said. That was his explanation.
That's what he said.
No, we're not making this up. Trump met al-Julani in Saudi Arabia for 33 minutes. MBS joined the meeting. So did Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. He dialed into the meeting.
So this is a meeting. Erdogan dials in on the phone, and these guys are having a meeting. And then she says he did it because he likes MBS. There's 4 people in that meeting. All these people who wants to create a massive Abraham Accords deal. That's what it is, right? That's what it actually is. It's not that. She wants to beat Trump up on this because she doesn't like what's happening. She is not happy with this. Personally, she is not. She doesn't like this happening, but it's still what he wants. It doesn't matter. If you hear me talk, guys, if I don't like something, I may tell you I don't like it. If I like it, I tell you I like it. But I still tell you why it's happening. If I don't like it, doesn't mean all of a sudden I have to now assign bad motives and bad everything to somebody. Or if I like it, it can still be bad motives. And that's what she's not doing. She doesn't like this, so she's now making it like it's because he's a bad guy. That's not why. He's dumb.
But of course, Trump, like most Trump deals, he expects something in return.
Of course.
The White House has cited 4 demands. 1,
Here we go.
Syria must normalize ties with Israel.
Now, he just said he did it because he likes MBS, but then he has these 4 things. What? Exactly. Joel over on Rumble gifts a subscription. Thank you so much, guys. Head on over to Rumble if you can. It does matter if you can. And if I'm not mistaken, actually, that Liberty Lady has posted the Rumble link. It's rumble.com/user/Larry Sharpe. That easy. Head over there. Check me out on Rumble if you want to. I appreciate that. Yes, this is not because he likes MBS. It's because he wants something in return. That's how that works. Why is this a bad thing? This is how the game is played, right? So she wants Syria to normalize relationships with Israel, which also means giving up the Golan Heights. Yes, and he may do it.
2, it must deport Palestinian and foreign terrorists. 3, it must help Washington fight the ISIS. And 4, it must take control of ISIS detention centers in Syria. Those are Trump's 4 demands. And
these aren't bad demands, are they? And are these bad demands? I mean, look, if you live in the Golan Heights and you don't want to be part of Israel, well, it's a bad demand. Then it is, yes.
The looks of it, al-Julani has agreed to them.
Yep.
Do you think Syria will join the Abraham Accords?
Yeah, but I think they have to get themselves straightened out. I told him, I hope you're going to join when it's straightened out. He said yes.
Now Trump's goal, and this was his goal, believe it or not, before he lost the 2020 election. His goal was to have everybody join the Abraham Accords. So what he wanted. Obviously, he didn't win, so he couldn't finish it. And then Biden didn't care about it. So he's trying to rebuild his own Abraham Accords. So I'm looking back over at Rumble, and Peace Logic says, Larry's correct. Berlin is different than the rest of Germany. New York City is a good comparison. Yeah, I know. The going to Berlin is very different. I mean, I like Germany. I haven't been there in maybe it's 8 years now. Maybe it's been several years since I've been there. Maybe 8 years or so. I like the fatherland. I do love Deutschland. But yeah, it's been a while. Berlin is different than Germany. It is definitely different. That's for sure. Mike has bad and he says Munich. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Ross, okay, you guys have been to Germany. Munich's the best. Munich is southern German. For those who don't know, that is Bavarian. And the culture is a little bit different than if you are in northern areas, right? A little bit different. My family's more from the Frankfurt area. So yeah, Munich is a bit more Austrian, a bit more Catholic. Yeah, a little bit different. Mountains, that kind of, a little bit different. So, but yes, still German.
But they have a lot of working.
But the lifting of sanctions is a long and complicated procedure. There's also the added burden of rebuilding Syria. The civil war that began in 2011 has ravaged the country.
So 14 years.
The cost of rebuilding stands at about $400 billion.
$400 billion.
So a rapprochement with the US is a big step forward, and Syrians were seen celebrating this meeting.
Yep. They would like to have a country that's not at civil war. I'm not That's not nuts. That's like, okay. Andrea says, I lived in Frankfurt, Germany on the base for 3 years. It's beautiful. There we go. Yes, absolutely. My mom was actually back from an area it's nearby. It's actually a bit north of Frankfurt called Bad Homburg. So it's a little bit, it's net. That's why I say the area. Yes. There we go. They're all happy. Good for them. I hope they're able to build their country up. That'd be amazing. I would like them to not be in civil war. I would like them to be able to just have a country and be able to live their lives like anybody else. That's what I would like. And I'm hoping it will actually work that way for them. I mean, it does seem to make the most sense. So Michael says, I need to start watching Palki and First Post again. You know, I bounce around. People ask me, you know, what do I watch? I bounce around a lot. I have more than one. I actually have 4 YouTube accounts, and each one of them is a bit different from each. So I bounce around a lot, putting in search things that I care about, try to find something that seems to make sense. And I sometimes find this out, and I found this one. So yeah, that's how I do it. I don't like watching only the same things every time because then I wind up getting skewed. I'm trying to not be skewed.
So that was one part of Trump's West Asia visit. Yep. Make peace with Syria.
Yep.
The other part was dancing with the Saudis, figuratively and maybe even literally.
She is not happy about this. Look how
in
mad
2017, Trump's first foreign trip as US president was to Saudi Arabia. And now in his second term, he chose to do the same. He arrived in Riyadh for his first state visit. He was escorted by Saudi fighter jets, greeted by lavender carpets, grand parades, Arabic coffee, and even a McDonald's cart outside.
Yes, they had a McDonald's cart out there. That part is killing me. And this is the part. He loves this, right? He eats this up. He does. You can hear the gun salute. They're firing the cannons out there. Then they got him a little McDonald's joint. There's a McDonald's cart outside. So you can get a burger, get some coffee, whatever he wants. Let's get some fries. Right there for him. They literally did that. It is crazy how they treated him. And he loves it. He eats that up. But he doesn't care. He wants to make a deal done, get a deal done. And I'm like okay with it. Like I'm not mad. There's the McDonald's. I wish I was joking. See, parts of this are like embarrassing.
What really mattered was the deal on the table. The Saudis know Trump. They know that he loves big, shiny numbers, so they gave him $600 billion in investments. This includes...
Now, she is being dismissive because that's how you attack Trump. You just dismissive. Call him names, insult him, dismissive. I get it. I do it too sometimes when I'm mad. I get it. But that's not what I care about. If this is real, and I hope it is real, I hope it is real, and that is, it should equal a total of over $1 trillion in the Saudis investing in us, buying weapons, buying all that kind of stuff. Now, you might go, Larry, why is that important? We're buying weapons, whatever. That's how you end the Ukraine war. I keep bringing this up. That's how you end the Ukraine war. What do you mean, Larry? We can't end the war because Putin. No, not just because Putin, because America. Because America. The military-industrial complex needs some way to throw money into stuff. That's why we stayed in Afghanistan for 20 years. That was a massive grift of the military-industrial complex. I see it in my state. In my state right now, New York State, the majority of new business is through government infrastructure somehow connected to the military-industrial complex. Here's what I know. Their $1 trillion, a couple billion, whatever that number is coming to New York. Yes. So now when that money starts coming back to military-industrial complex, they go, oh, you want to end Ukraine? Yeah, it's fine. You just got us $1 trillion. We're good. End Ukraine. We're not going to fight you no more. Go ahead. End it. You're good. Give Putin what he wants, whatever. Give Zelensky what he wants. We're good. We're not going to fight you. We're still getting paid. And we don't care where we send our missiles. Again, remember, the military-industrial complex is not evil. It is apathetic. It just wants to sell bombs and stuff. That's it. So Saudis buy it? Great. Ukrainians buy it? Great. We don't care. As long as the government says you can make massive amounts of money, high profit stuff with no competition. And they go, we would like that very much. Trump just went, here you go. Here you go. We'll do that. And then we'll do some kind of mineral deal in Ukraine. You'll make cash on that one too, because there'll be a bunch of contractors. Can we end the war now? And they'll go, yes, 100%. That's what this is about. Do this. We'll start in the war. Not just that. These guys get happy. Erdogan's happy. He looks good. Saudis look good. the Abraham Accords will spread. They'll spread. They'll do something else. They will let Trump do what he actually wants to do. Trump wants to make a deal with Iran. I know some of you guys are like, Iran's our greatest enemy. No, they're not. I'm telling you, that's been Republican talking points forever. This is the part I love about Trump's. I got to tell you, this part I love. I do. Making neocons look dumb. He really is making neocons. And this is a personal thing. I enjoy him making neocons look dumb. Because the rhetoric that neocons have been saying has been so wrong for so many. And I always call it out. More that's right-wing propaganda. That's neocon propaganda. Right? Don't get me wrong. Left has tons of propaganda too. And their propaganda is everything Trump does is evil and the orange man is bad and he's stupid and blah. That's theirs. And the neocons are always like, oh, no. We've got to be tough and we can't talk to the terrorists and blah, whatever. He talks to them, making deals, closing stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the good part. I do like that. So yes. John, thank you for the $30, my friend. I appreciate it. He says, I'm a bit overdue in supporting. It's been too long since I bought a shirt from your shop. Oh, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Thanks, Larry, for all the great content over the years. You're the man. And yes, keto is magic. True. Keto is magic more than I'm the man. Keto is magic. And part of the reason why I am the man is because I'm on keto, making me magic, hence making me the man. Yes, they're all related. They are. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. I keep trying to. I was a little bit late today because I was working again today, trying to get some more stuff done. I'm traveling this weekend, so I will not have a show on Saturday. So I had to catch up on a bunch of stuff and lock some stuff down because I'm going to be gone for the day. I will be in Michigan doing a event for the Libertarian Party in Michigan. That's where I'll be this Saturday. So I will be gone this weekend. I probably won't be able to do a show at all this weekend. So I had to grab some stuff and get some stuff done, which is why, by the way, my AMA, which is usually on Saturday, this week will be on Friday. So Friday will be my AMA. So you still get an AMA this week, but it can't be Saturday because I'll be busy, but it will be on Friday, not Saturday. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Includes a $142 billion defense deal, a $20 billion investment in AI infrastructure, and $80 billion in joint tech investments.
Look at that.
Today, we are working on partnership opportunities worth $600 billion,
Look at that.
including more than $300 billion agreements announced during this forum.
And with this trip, we're adding over $1 trillion more in terms of investment into our country and buying our products. And, nobody makes military equipment like us. We have the best military equipment, the best missiles, the best rockets, the best everything.
One of the reasons why they loved the Ukraine war so much, military-industrial complex, is they learned what is new on the battlefield, right? And sadly, Ukrainians and Russians had to die for it. But yes, they did learn that for sure. They absolutely learned it. They know what's going to work, what's not working, and they're going to have better weapons for the future. That's true. Absolutely true.
Submarines, by the way.
But even friendship has its limits. And for Saudi Arabia, that red line was the Abraham Accords.
Yes.
It is Trump's dream. He wants Saudi Arabia to normalize ties with Israel, but Crown Prince MBS is not so keen. And that's understandable. It's because of the Gaza war. Riyadh has made one thing very clear. It will not happen. Normalization will not happen until there is a clear path to Palestinian statehood. But Trump still persisted.
It's been an amazing thing, the Abraham Accords. And
this is I think he's doing it again because he wants that Peace Prize. I really believe that. I know I bring it up like every week, because I think he really does. He wants it. And look, if he can do all the things he says, if he can, and I hope he can, he deserves it. Get it, take your prize, man. You busted your rump, you got a bunch of peace, take the prize. I'm not mad at you. That's what you want, take it. Be happy, you do you. I'm all good with it. I don't know if he can do it all over. I just don't know if he's asking for so much. I don't know. So Michael says Netanyahu has to go hopefully to prison. Netanyahu may be in his way. That part's true. Netanyahu may be in his way. I'm unsure of that. If Netanyahu was actually in his way, Netanyahu better change fast. Right? I'm not sure that's true. Then he's going to try what he's trying to do. And it may be too much. Trump is trying to keep everybody happy there. I don't know if you can. You got to piss somebody off. Somebody's getting pissed off. How do you keep the Saudis happy and then destroy Gaza and then give way to Golan Heights? How do you do that? I don't know how you do that. How do you give way to Golan Heights to Syria? I mean, to Israel. And then how do you give away Gaza to Israel and then keep the Saudis happy? And unless you somehow make, and this is what I think he actually, which is why he said America to control it. I think he somehow wants, I don't know how you do this. It feels like a fantasy to me, but I think somehow he wants to have like an American controlled territorial protectorate that is the Palestinian state next to Israel. I mean, I guess how do you do that? I don't know. That seems impossible to me. I don't know how you do that, right? I don't know what you do. Glenn says the first trip outside the U.S. Trump made in both his terms was to Saudi Arabia. True. This was a very strategic decision in his first term, fomented by Jared. Also true. Jared, sorry. He helped Trump understand that to the Saudis, this showed tremendous respect, and Trump was able to begin a process that led to the Abraham Accords. And then what we just witnessed. In the Arab culture, respect is everything. True. I think everything you said is correct. And I think that's why he cared. That's what he was trying to do. Michael says, Trump's foreign policy has been okay. He definitely did not end the Ukraine war in 24 hours, but has tried to end it and is trying as far as I know. He is trying. He does want to end it. Look, I knew it wasn't going to end. I said it last year when he was talking. I said, no way that war's ending in 20. No way. I would bet money on it. I said, anybody, whatever you want. It's never going to happen. So, yeah. Phil says, neocons lie like a Persian rug that we should be able to buy directly. Nice. People don't know this, Phil, but you know that's why you said that joke. Do you know where we get most of our Persian rugs from? Turkey. That's true. We can't get them from Persia or Iran because sanctions. So most of our Persian rugs come from Turkey. That's true. So there we go. I love that. All right. Rick says, this news channel gives us an Indian view on the news. They aren't very kept with the Muslims at the moment. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, Keen, I think you mean Keen. But yeah, that's true. That's accurate. That's absolutely true. Yes, absolutely true.
My fervent hope, wish, and even my dream that Saudi Arabia, a place I have such respect for, especially over the last fairly short period of time, what you've been able to do, but we'll soon be joining the Abraham Accords.
Even without normalization, it was a successful trip. From here, Trump has now flown to Qatar.
Yep.
More deals and meetings await there. And then his final stop is the United Arab Emirates. But amid all of this, Trump did not forget about another country, and that is Iran. He even tried for peace in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
How? By extending a thorny olive branch to Iran.
I want to make a deal with Iran. If I can make a deal with Iran, I'll be very happy if we're going to make your region.
Look, he's talking about making a deal with Iran. Yes. Please make a deal with Iran. Let's not fight. Yes, let's not fight.
And the world's a safer place. But if Iran's leadership rejects this olive branch and continues to attack their neighbors, then we will have no choice but to inflict massive maximum pressure, drive Iranian oil exports to zero like I did before.
Trump stressed that Tehran can never have a nuclear weapon, but he said that he was ready for a deal and he urged Iran's leaders to take it.
I want to make a deal with Iran. I want to do something if it's possible.
Now that's a separate place. He keeps talking about a deal with Iran. He wants to deal with Iran. This is not a bad thing. Deal with Iran, deal with Syria, end all of these sanctions. Let's move it. I mean, I hope it's right. I love the concepts.
But for that to happen, it must stop sponsoring terror, halt its bloody proxy wars, and permanently and verifiably cease its pursuit of nuclear weapons. They cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Now, you may be wondering, what is Donald Trump up to? He has lifted sanctions on Syria. He's secured billion-dollar deals in Saudi Arabia. He's offering a deal to Iran by doing
these. Okay, I'm like, yes, yes, and yes. Okay, so far. Look, I have been bothered by this entire Trump garbage that Trump's been doing. I have not liked it at all. I've been complaining the whole time. Don't like the fact that he supports Israel no matter what they do. Been complaining the whole time. Finally, I got a good week. Stop. Don't rain on my parade. I finally got a good week. Let me have my week. Matt says, since the U.S. funded Al-Qaeda, Trump should have thanked Galani for his, Galani for, yes, that's true.
Doing so, he's rewriting decades of U.S. foreign policy on the fly.
True.
So what is Donald Trump's West Asia doctrine? Well, it appears there isn't one. Trump does not see the world in red lines or alliances. He sees it in opportunities and deals. For Donald Trump, every door can be knocked on, every sanction is negotiable, every war is just a business deal waiting to be closed.
She's mad at this. Everything she just said sounded great to me. Like, yes, like that all sounds amazing. Every war can be ended with a deal. Yes. Every door can be knocked on. Yes. Who cares about red and blue? Let's make trade deals. Yes. She's like, yes, I can't believe this. I'm like, no. This is good. What's the problem? Mike gets bad and he says, sounds good to me too. I'm like, where's the problem? Where's the problem? And he was like, yes, we want peace in the Middle East. Yes. I mean, I got a good week out of Trump. Give me my good week. Why is she mad at this one? This is the wrong one to be mad at. There was lots of reasons to be mad at stuff, particularly some of his domestic garbage. But this is a good one. Let's take the win we getting.
In Trump's West Asia, there are no friends or foes. There are only deals and deal makers.
She's saying like it's a bad thing. I'm like, oh, yes. Why aren't we thinking that way everywhere? Like, why aren't we thinking that way? Literally in the entire world. What's the problem? Andrea's like, I don't see what's bad with every leader. Ross is like, yes, all the above. Yes. Morgan says Trump doesn't see red or blue. He sees green. Yes. I'm not seeing a problem at all. I finally got a good week out of this guy.
At first post,
and she's mad. I'm sorry. That she actually ended it there because she just was scolding him. She thought, I taught him a lesson. She actually thought that. I do want to bring up this one piece if I could. This is a part of his speech which blew me away. This is from Glenn Greenwald's coverage of it. And it's just the speech that this guy could have been like, I don't know. He could have been Dave Smith talking. Dave's going to be mad at me now for saying that. But anyway, he could have been.
And it's crucial for the wider world to know this great transformation has not come from Western interventionists or flying people in beautiful planes giving you lectures on how to live and how to govern your own affairs. No, the gleaming marvels of Riyadh and Abu Dhabi were not created by the so-called nation builders, neocons, or liberal nonprofits like.
He just attacked nation builders, neocons, and liberal nonprofits. Yes.
Those who spent trillions and trillions of dollars failing.
Yes. Spent trillions and trillions of dollars failing. Where's the lie?
To develop Kabul, Baghdad, so many other cities. Instead, the birth of a modern Middle East has been brought by the people of the region themselves, the people that are right here, the people that have lived here all their lives, developing your own sovereign countries, pursuing your own unique visions and charting your own destinies in your own way. It's really incredible what you've done. In the end, the so-called nation builders wrecked far more nations than they built, and
True. Yes. Libertarians been saying that forever. Now, let's hope he actually acts that way. He does sometimes say libertarian things. Nice. Let's hope he actually does those libertarian things. I'm hoping he does. As people say all the time, they're like, Larry, Trump is libertarian. No, he's not. He's not. I don't want to pretend here. He's not. Will he do some libertarian things? Yes. And I've said this multiple times. He will. If he thinks there's a deal in it for him. He's not going to do the libertarian thing because he's libertarian. That's not a thing. Will he do a libertarian thing because he knows that it will work out for him in some way with his deal? Yes, absolutely. Again, this is literally to Phil's point, he's not ideological. He wants a deal. If it happens to be libertarian, okay. If it's not, also okay. So, yes.
Interventionists were intervening in complex societies that they did not even understand themselves. They told you how to do it, but they had no idea how to do it themselves.
They had no idea.
Peace, prosperity, and progress ultimately came not from a radical rejection of your heritage, but rather from embracing your national traditions and embracing that same heritage that you love so dearly.
So
that part, I that's something that libertarians want to say. That part is great. That part's correct. I love that concept completely. I do. I love that part completely. So I guess Morgan says Trump knows he's in with people with serious money. He hasn't talked about himself in a while. That's good. Joel says, I understand the Democrats can't cheer for Trump, but they can come across like they're wishing for the demise of the country. Look at your 401k. Ha, ha, ha. You voted for that. This is true. If there was a part that Robbie Silve did a radar on this today, I think. He was talking about how he's happy with the same thing I'm hearing. He's like, this is good. Let's talk more like this. Let's not just talk. Let's do. Let's talk and act this way. This is great. Keep doing this. Yes. And the left-leaning woman who was on the side with him immediately went to, yeah, but he doesn't really mean it, or he doesn't want it, and blah, 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 blah. And she just attacked versus going, yeah, let's take the win. This is the one thing that Cenk Uygur is trying to make Democrats be better at. He may not be the best messenger for this, but this is what he's trying to achieve. He's trying to, what Cenk Uygur is trying to do is get the left, in his view, he sees himself more as a leftist or progressive more than a Democrat. That's how he sees himself. And he's trying to get the left to be like, look, when the MAGA guys do stuff that we like, let's not take a dump on them. Let's say, well done. We agree with this thing. Yay, this is a good thing. I agree with Cenk. When people do things that I like, whether they're of my political ilk or not, I go, well done. That's a good thing. It doesn't mean you're who I am, right? A lot of the Maha people aren't libertarians. A lot of them aren't, right? Some of them are, but a lot of them aren't. But when they're talking about medical freedom, I'm on board, 100%. That's libertarian. We're simpatico. Let's do this. Okay, you may disagree on other things or agree on this or that. Okay, but on that one, we're together. Let's shake hands and be happy that that's happening. Let's do it. And in this case, again, if Trump actually does change the foreign policy to be more like this, yes, please. Yes, please. 100%. Andrew says, comes a difference between a valid criticism of Trump and just rep TDS. That's the issue. You are 100% right, Andrew. The TDS is terrible. It makes it to where no one wants to even hear them when they get so bad. Like nobody wants to hear them, right? That's the issue. So, yeah. Any case, the piece I want to bring up here, though, is look, I think his trip to Middle East so far has been a win. Let's hope it actually pans out. So far a win. He's going to come home with a deal with Saudi Arabia, making people happy. He's coming back with the idea of peace in the Middle East, which is great. I don't know how he deals with Israel right now. Israel cannot be jumping down happy about this, right? Or I should say the Israeli government. I bet many Israelis are, right? But definitely, the Israeli government is not happy about this, I'm sure. So, yeah. All right, I want to go to another piece if I could, and that's his whole deal with China and the tariff deal. And this is CBS Evening News talking about this, and they actually did a decent coverage of this, giving a couple different sides of this, which is the second piece about his foreign policy, which is kind of this whole the China deal. And I wanted to give him the benefit of doubt. As you guys know, I was very open about giving the benefit of doubt. He said he did 90 days, but I said, okay, you need 90 days, come back 90 days later and show me all these great deals. It didn't start great, but we're seeing how it's working. See how this one works.
They spent the weekend in a secluded Swiss villa, and voila, a truce in the trade war.
The United States and China announced today that negotiators have worked out a rollback of the triple-digit tariffs each country imposed on the other.
The U.S. will cut the 145% tariff on Chinese imports to 30%.
There we
and
go.
China will slash the tariff on U.S. goods from 125% to 10%.
Now, here's the issue. Is this a situation where Trump caved in? Maybe that's what people are saying. Trump caved. He wanted to fight a war. He couldn't. He caved. And if you remember what my comment was then, I said, here's how I'll know if it was real or not. If in 90 days he has all these deals done and it actually looks good and it's all set, then that was the plan overall. If he can't get these deals done, then it wasn't the plan. Why do I say that? If you're playing the 4D chess, you tell me you're playing, right? You're doing all the stuff and you guys got all the plans ready, then you know what deals you want. So you throw up the tariffs, you're playing a tariff game, and then after that, you put all your deals in. Hey, here's what we're looking for. Do this, do that, do this. And if it flows, then well done. You were right. If you're like, it's day 90 and we got one deal done, you didn't know what you were doing. You just got caught and ran. So I'm not sure which one it is. If this deal is good, because for those of you who don't know, they're going to cover this now. The tariffs came down and now they're doing some other specific deals on things like rare earth minerals, cars, stuff like that. If all of these are done within 90 days, if it's true, then Trump was right. That's what he was trying to do. If not, he just jumped through hoops because he screwed up. We'll see.
Truce will last 90 days. That'll give negotiators time to work on a longer-term deal. It is temporary, but still welcome news for consumers facing rising prices and for businesses trying to stay in business amid the tariff uncertainty.
Wall Street is relieved. The Dow gained 2.8% today and is back above 42,000 for the first time since the trade war intensified in early April.
The question is, has the damage that's been done, is it long-term or not? That I'm not sure of, but it is definitely bouncing back. I think that's true.
Kelly O'Grady is looking at the impact of the truce here in the U.S., but we begin with Anna Corin in Hong Kong. Anna.
Well, for the past 6 weeks, President Trump's trade war has caused havoc to markets and seriously disrupted global supply chains. Well, that turmoil has ended for now. But what's most surprising is that China made very few concessions in this truce, where the US has dropped its tariffs by more than 100%.
If that's the issue, right? They dropped all the tariffs, and this is the argument. And I get this argument. The argument is Trump started a trade war. China didn't agree to anything else, and then they just agreed to talk more and lower the tariffs back. Now, the question becomes, do you see this as Trump caved because China didn't give in? Or do you see this as, well, China didn't want to talk, and the talking is the win? If it's a win, if it is, it's not a great win, is all I'm saying. Unless, again, at the end of the day, we get a bunch of good stuff, right? So we'll see. I'm not sure that it's going to end the way people want it to. That's what I'm saying. So Michael says, the issue of the markets are much deeper than tariffs. The tariffs just trigger the inevitable. I guess the future will tell. Yes, the future will absolutely tell. I'm not sure. Mastermind says, please, God, let us get those Chinese EVs. Not going to happen. They're not doing that to Elon. For those who don't know, the Chinese EVs, according to everyone I talk to, now, maybe this is all, I meet the wrong people, but everyone I've talked to says Chinese EVs are way better than Teslas. That's what I keep hearing. So, yeah, that's why we're never getting them. So, yes, I'm with you, Mastermind. That's why we're not getting them. Yes. Daniel says it's a win that he at least forced him to the table. We will see. That's what I'm saying. Maybe. I think we'll see, right? Did they actually come to the table or no, right? Did they just go stop and then to hell with it? Or they actually going to come? I don't know. I think I'll go back to, time will tell. I'm going to go back with that. So, yes. Lunatic says EVs are junk. Mastermind says, and like $18,000. Yeah, they're cheaper. They're like a third or half of the price, and they're better cars. Yes, that I know it's bad. The lunatic just meant EVs. If you want an EV, buy EV. That's all I'm saying. If you want an EV, buy EV. That's it. Mastermind says, I'd pay an extra 30% on 18K. Yes, so would most Americans. That's why we're never getting them, brother. You're correct. What you're saying is absolutely true. That's why we're never going to get them. Because, look, to be forward, do I personally want to have access to a Chinese EV? I do. I'm not saying I want to buy one, but I want to be able to buy one. I do. I want to be able to buy one. I want to have access to one. I do. But, key but here. Not that much, because I'm personally going to buy one. But next thing is the whole goal about this. The whole goal of this is to make more American cars. And Teslas are made all around America, right? All in America. They're the most American-made car, I think, probably in the entire country. Because like everything's sourced here in America, right? So yeah, they're not going to get rid of that. I wish they would. Yes. So Lunatic says, I'm a master technician. Give me a nuclear vehicle. I agree with you. Lunatic, we have the technology now. Lunatic knows this. Some people else may not. But we have the technology now that we could, in theory, we haven't, but we could, in theory, make a small nuclear-powered car. Just like we have nuclear-powered, aircraft carriers. We could make one. The technology exists. But Lunatic, they ain't giving us that. You know that. They ain't giving us that. You're not wrong, but they ain't giving us that.
Ireland's neutrality proved the ideal setting to de-escalate the US-China trade war. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent made this announcement.
We want more balanced trade, and I think that both sides are committed to achieving that.
Beijing has also agreed to remove some US companies from its blacklist, but it's refused to lift its ban of rare earths to the United States.
See, hasn't banned that yet. They're going to work on that piece too. Exactly. Michael, thank you for details. Michael says, thank you for being a member also. Over 80% US sourced Teslas. There we go. I knew it was a huge chunk. So yeah, that's what we're never getting Chinese. I mean, we might get Chinese Teslas like, I don't know, the year 2100 maybe. I mean, something like that, but it's, yeah. Anyway, yes.
There's a great sense of relief in China that exports can resume to the US. Since the trade war began, we've been meeting with business owners inside China. Last month, the Canton Fair, the largest import-export trade fair in the country,
5,000.
I met Richard Chu, who has been selling fabric gift bags to the US for 20 years. His American buyers had told him to halt production and stop shipments, which left him feeling a deep sense of betrayal.
That's the part that I'm worried about, right? Now, I get the goal is supposed to be that Americans will find ways of buying American, that companies will decide to actually make stuff more in America. That's the goal of the tariffs, right? We'll tariff you so you'll build in America, right? That's supposed to be the goal. I get it. And the concept is we'll be buying less from China. Okay, I get the concept. I'm not sure that's how that works, but I get the logic. I can at least follow that in my head, right? The problem is you now also have Chinese people who are like, you know what? I don't know if I can trust Americans, the American market, the American government for the American market. I may have to start selling someplace else. So maybe I don't want to sell my stuff to Americans. Maybe I want to sell to whatever, Germans, or I'm going to sell to Chinese, sell to Vietnamese, sell to Australians, whatever. Maybe I don't do that. I think that's an issue too, because remember, if this guy sells his bags into America, there's an American retailer who's making money off his bags, right? That's the issue. There's an American retailer making money off of him wholesaling those bags. He's not selling direct. So that's an issue.
I think it's not fair. So just make me feel sick about USA now.
China's economy has been vulnerable to President Trump's trade war.
True.
Youth unemployment, lack of domestic consumption, and the fallout from the property crisis have exacerbated the pain at home.
Now, that's the problem. China is a big market, no doubt. It's like a tiny market, it's a big market, but actual buying power, buying stuff, being an actual consumer, Americans far out consume. I mean, that's kind of our thing, right? That's our thing. We consume, by percentage, we consume more than anyone else on the planet. It's not even close. Yes. And that's the issue, right? So they would rather have our markets. Now, how do you replace those markets? You can, but it's a task. It's not an easy thing, right? to lose American markets, you have to get like, I don't know, 7 countries, or I made the number up, a lot of countries, right? Whatever, 2, 3, 4, 5 countries to make up from one America. So yeah, it's a big deal for them to lose it. So they feel it too. Now the problem is Americans feel it too, right? So this, in reality, both sides got smacked around by this. Absolutely. So, all righty. Andrea says the U.S. is into consumerism. We are it. That's kind of our thing, Andrea. That's our thing. Daniel goes, and we have the most debt. True. That's us. Mike Hesbadney says they'll never find consumers like the American market. You're right. They're going to have to match the American market. It's multiple markets to match our market. It's true. It's a problem. Yes, absolutely. It is a problem. 100%. Rise Sticker says Stanley Myers made a car that runs on water. Not shockingly, he was poisoned. Not shocked at all. Not shocked at all.
China, first row.
Economists I've spoken to say considering this was President Trump's trade war, he has caved to Beijing.
Trade conflict becomes very painful.
While world-renowned China expert Michael Pettis told me that neither side has the stomach for the economic pain of a worsening confrontation, which is why both sides have agreed to back off for now.
I think that's true.
I'm Kelly O'Grady. We first met Kenneth Hartman Jr. in February. He's a 5th-generation corn and soybean farmer from Waterloo, Illinois, and China is a key market for those products.
Are you concerned what tariffs might do to your bottom line?
I'm very concerned about tariffs. I'm concerned with the future of rural America because we've been through some economic problems.
With the retaliatory tariffs the first time around, has some of that business been permanently lost?
Yes.
Despite a reduction in tariffs on Chinese goods over the next 90 days, a 30% import tax will remain in effect.
There we go.
Some business leaders are cautiously optimistic, but warn consumers could still see higher prices. Shipping activity has already slowed as businesses have canceled orders from China. They've dropped 27% year over year in the last week of April. China's not ordering as much from the U.S. either. Kenneth Hartman Jr. worries the U.S. is running the risk of competitors taking.
And that's the issue. Again, look, can they find, is it going to be tough, right? Mike's point, is it going to be tough to find another American market? Yes, it is. It's not easy at all. You're going to have to grab 2, 3, 4 different markets to make up one American market. True. But they may just not, swap it. They might grab 2 or 3. They might go, you know what? Let me go from selling 90% of my stuff to America to selling 70%. And I'll take that 20% and go to 2 or 3 other countries. That's what his worry is. I'm not going to buy from America because they might throw tariffs on me. So I'm going to swap out and buy a little bit more from whatever, Vietnam or Mexico, whatever the case may be. And while that doesn't end everything, if everyone's taking a 10, 20, 30% haircut, that's a serious haircut, right? That's the issue. That's the issue.
Big bites out of U.S. business with China.
Bingo, taking bites out.
We have our folks from South America, Brazil, and Argentina that can still expand their land. So this gives them an opportunity to expand. And then some of the markets that they expand to, sometimes we never get them back.
So that's his point, right? In other parts of the world, they can just expand their land out. Where in America, no other place to go.
And Kelly O'Grady joins us now. So Kelly, if prices might still go up and there's uncertainty, it sounds like we're not out of the woods yet.
Not yet. There's a lot of optimism, don't get me wrong, but 30% tariff, that is not nothing. And that's on top of existing tariffs in targeted areas from the previous administrations. By the way, 3 months for a deal this complicated, that's a short time.
If you're a business owner, what are you supposed to do in terms of making plans for the future?
I had that same thought. Okay, this broke. I immediately grabbed my phone. I said, well, what happened under the first Trump administration? 7 years ago, almost to the day, May 9th, U.S. and China, they came to a pause. And then a couple of weeks later, they were back to retaliating. So for a business, this is really hard to plan because it's only a pause. And history teaches us this roller coaster can start up again.
That is the concern. Absolutely right there, right? As I'm pretty happy with Trump heading over to the Middle East and the stuff he's saying, I'm still not happy with this tariff stupidity. This was not a good idea. I'm not. All right, maybe I want to try to give Trump the benefit of the doubt. I do. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I do, because I hope he is eventually successful. I do. But man, why do you have to do this this tariff stuff? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't like it at all. I wish he wouldn't. Let me grab a couple comments off Rumble if I could. Sharpe Fan 12. Oh, I like that. That's a good name. Tesla Model 2 should be out this year and around 25K. I'm on my second Tesla. I got my first about 10 years ago. EV, keep an eye open for Aptera. Don't know what Aptera is, but I will keep an eye open for it. Look, the reality is people are acting like Tesla's in trouble and they're going to go under. That's not true, right? That's not true at all. Tesla is getting beat up, but remember something. Tesla is basically a technology company, and Elon Musk is basically a massive private equity firm. I'm not joking. He's basically a massive private equity firm. That's what Elon Musk actually is. He's not an entrepreneur. He's a massive private equity company. So people still know he tends to pick winners, and that he knows how to grift from the government better than anybody. No one's even close to a grifter as he is. He's the best, hands down, the best. So when he goes, hey, I think we should invest in this thing, people go, oh, who said? He said that? That's the master grifter. Okay, let's jump on that. People will still get behind him. They'll still invest. He's going to be fine. Not just that. Tesla isn't just cars. Tesla's technology. Tesla is, right? Car makers, I mean, are they really car makers anymore? They're computer makers, and they put wheels on the computer, right? So AI is the biggest piece that Tesla is right now. So yeah, that's the point that I think is gonna happen here. And Tesla's not finished. If, to your point, Sharpe fan, Tesla can actually start putting out cars for $25,000, then if that can happen, we might start getting Chinese EVs. If that could happen. So I think we'll see, right? Because people love the idea of an EV, even though I know clearly lunatic does not like them. But they love the idea of an EV because it feels like I'm doing something right. And I get that. It's a nice warm, fuzzy feeling. But you're still using like coal and whatever else we're using, natural gas to make electricity. So you didn't all of a sudden save the planet. It feels good though. It's like I feel like I'm saving the planet. That's kind of nice. I like the feeling, but I'm not really saving the planet. I mean, even if we all drove EVs, it wouldn't save the planet. But we'd all feel good about ourselves. So there's that. And I do like warm, fuzzy feelings. So that's something. So I'm not sure. Any case, so Straight End says, Aptera is a solar-assisted EV. Oh, there we go. Thank you. I didn't know what an Aptera was. There we go. It's a solar-assisted. Straight End says, I'm nervous about the Aptera because of all the scam electric motorcycle companies. I've been following them. Oh, so that could be a problem. Okay. Well, I will keep my eyes open for that. By the way, thank you for being a member over there, Straight End. I appreciate that. Every little bit does count. I keep saying it. I know because it does matter. And while I'm on that subject, while I'm there, guys, if you like what I'm talking about, you think this is interesting, I'm trying to give you some serious insight, click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. Yes. Like. That's the one. Click that one. It's free. Just do it. It helps out. I get shadow banned constantly so that people can't see my stuff. So help me get on and click that button. But not just that. Share this and repost this. Wherever you're watching, share it, repost it, re-exit, whatever is the thing. Do that thing. Exit again. Is that what you do? Retwitter it, retweet it. But I don't care. Re-something it. Re-it. Do that, whatever the case may be. Yes. If you haven't followed me already on Facebook, X, and Rumble, please go do so. If you do subscribe to me on Shortwave YouTube, make sure you click on the all notifications button so you get notification. If you don't click all notifications, you won't get notified. And if you don't check every once in a while, YouTube just decides that you're a bot. It just decides that randomly and then unsubscribes you. That's not a joke. That literally happens. So many people go, Larry, I subscribed to you like last year. Yes, that was last year. And YouTube just decided you're a bot and unsubscribed you. So please keep checking to make sure that you are. It does matter. If you want to become a member, please do so. It's $49 per month over on YouTube. Click the join button. You can do it also on Rumble if you want to, and you click the subscribe button on YouTube during the live. Now, why would you want to do that? Because several things. Number one, members can submit reaction vids. Yes, they can. I do reaction videos every once in a while. I have another one I got in the can. I got to pop up here. I go through them. Here's my request for you guys doing reaction vids. If it's a long video, like an hour or 2 hours, tell me where you want me to look, like, hey, at the 1 minute mark, the 10 minute mark, whatever, or tell me, Larry, I want you to do the entire thing. Recognize that whatever the time period of the video, generally speaking, multiply it by 3, anywhere from 2 or 3. So if it's an hour video, it's a 2 or 3 hour show. If I do the whole thing, a 2 hour video, it's a 4 to 6 hour show. If I do the entire thing. Reacting to videos takes a lot of time. I want to be able to take your back and forth. I want to watch the video. I want to go back and forth with you guys on it. I want to have comments. It's a way for us to be together and to have good, deep conversations. I hope they're good conversations. So recognize that if you want that. That's all I'm saying. So please do that if you could. But no matter what, click the like button. Second thing that's good about members is once you remember, you get to come on the show. I'll do another member show next month. So every month or two, I do a member show where you actually come on with me and we all sit and chat together. Members get to come on board, say what they want to say, talk about stuff. All good. Yes, but either way, click the button known as like. That does matter. Ride stickers, become a member. Thank you, my friend. I do appreciate it. Yes, members are growing. Let's keep it going. Absolutely. The more members, the better it is. Honest Elk says Netanyahu was already being served up as the fall guy for Israelis' actions in the media. True. And I don't know if it was Netanyahu's fault or the leadership's fault or whatever, but Israel absolutely lost the PR war early in that war. They lost the PR war easy. Yes. And they got to, if they can't fix it, Netanyahu takes the fall. If Netanyahu takes the fall, Trump has a shot at making the Saudis happy. He can make them happy somehow. So that absolutely is possible. Yes. Michael says, oh, Trump's all about that beachfront property. He wants Gaza for the U.S. Look, to be forward with you, I don't know how he pulls this off, but if he does, Michael, if he pulls it off to where somehow whatever Palestine is an American protectorate, where the Israelis can't invade somehow, I don't know how how do they accept that, right? How do we not just basically put ourselves in a spot where we're the overlords now? I don't know how he does that. I mean, do you give them all the land, but then they don't do what you want? I don't know. I mean, in my head, I'm trying to figure out what way do I see that working? The only way I see it working is if you get rid of all the Palestinians, in which case you don't have a Palestinian state, right? And that doesn't keep the Saudis happy. Unless you find a Palestinian state someplace other than Gaza. I don't know. Do you set a situation to where you try to find a Palestinian state within Syria? Does your guy in Syria, is he so happy to do what you say that he allows for a carve out of a Palestinian homeland in Syria? I mean, maybe. In theory, that would solve both problems in theory, but in practice, how do you do that? Unless you just decide to give up the land. Maybe you swap off maybe you sell the Kurds out. I don't know, Mike. I'm pulling stuff out of thin air. I don't know how we do this. I don't know how that works. I'm trying to figure out how we figure this out. It doesn't seem like it can work. But look, maybe I've missed something. I may have missed something. So we'll see. It seems very hard to make that happen. I'm trying to walk down a road where I could see that happen. I can't imagine it. If you guys know something, so yeah. Anyway, Phil says she wants her war with Pakistan. True. Let me walk down that road too. Right? I want to cover a couple things if I could, since you brought this up. I don't know if Trump's team actually helped with the India-Pakistan war, stopping it, because so far it has stopped, but it might keep going. But he seemed to actually care about that, which was odd to me. Like, he's really about stopping. It was like, usually America doesn't get involved in that kind of stuff, right? Not Pakistan, India. We just walk away, let them fight. But in this one, we got involved. So I don't know. I think he really wants that. He wants that damn thing. He does. Matt says Glenn is. I like Glenn too. Michael says I love Glenn Greenwald. A lot of people do. He's very popular. I like him. Yes, I do too. I have never met him. Hold on, maybe I might have met him once. I don't think I've met him. No, I don't think I have. I don't think I've met him. Yeah, I don't think I've met him before. I'm trying to think. Andrea says, the first step was getting rid of USAID. True. And we keep moving from there. Absolutely true. Yeah. That whole piece, right, of ending the CIA front was very helpful. And I know people don't like it because people got fired. And I get it. I do. I get it. I hate that people got fired and lost their jobs, Andrea. Of course, I don't want that to happen. I don't see any other way. So, yeah. Liberty Lady is talking to Mastermind, says excited about Larry being on Hard Lens Media for the show tomorrow morning. That's true. If you guys want to see me, I will. For those of you who don't know, I just did a segment on Kim Iverson's show. If you head over to her Rumble, I'm there. I'm on that one and talking about RFK stuff. And I'm probably going to be on the one on YouTube also. They should do a clip. So if you're going to check me out on that, I talk about the civil war that Maha is going through right now. That's on Kim Iverson's show. Tomorrow, I will be live on Kit Cabello's Hard Lens Media tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. So head over to Hard Lens Media on YouTube, on Rumble, whatever's best for you. You will see me there. Kit and I chopping it up. We're gonna be there for a while. I think he's got me up for an hour or more. I forgot how long, but it's gonna be not 5 minutes. It'll be some time. We'll yap back and forth. By the way, I love Kit, but I am always right. Just understand that I am always right every time. Kit's smart, and sometimes it'll sound like he's smart. That he's right. I mean, he is smart. It'll sound like he's right, but he's not. Never think Kit's right unless I agree with him, in which case, if I agree with him, then he is right. If I don't agree with him, even though it may sound like he's right, don't let him fool you. I am actually right. So as long as we're clear on that, please feel free to watch tomorrow. Hard Lens Media on YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern. Check me out there and give Hard Lens Media some love. They could use some love. They're getting beat up by people trying to hammer them in courts. So give them some love. It does matter. Give them some love. Any case. So Michael goes on to say, this is also a deal that drives a wedge into BRICS Belt and Road Initiative. What a lot of people don't see, what to be forward, I try to give Obama credit for this because Obama actually saw this. Biden did not. Obama failed at it, but he did see it at least. And I give him credit for that. He did see it. Obama was trying to break the connection between China and Russia. He did try. I'll give him credit. I give him credit for trying and recognizing it. Trump kind of got it his first year, but not as much. Someone told him it was something, but he didn't really get it. Biden completely didn't get it at all. Did not get it. Didn't care. Trump now gets it completely and is trying to work on many ways of breaking this, right? He does not want a China-Russia connection. One of the reasons why Trump is being so good to Russia, making a lot of people unhappy, is he's hoping to woo Putin away from China. That's what he's trying to do. Will it work? I don't know. China and Russia are closer than they've been since, I don't know, like 100 years. More, maybe. I mean, they have not, they're closer than they've been in a very long time. I mean, they still have issues, but they're closer than they've been in a long time. And that's why the BRICS is a thing. You start smashing into that, you're right. It does start messing up with the BRICS. Remember, the Saudis were going to join BRICS, and now they've decided not to join, but they're like some special entity or whatever. They have some special way of being something, but they're not a member. And this also gets the Saudis out. And the Saudis is a big deal. It's a big deal. So you are correct, my friend. Yes, you are absolutely correct. All righty. Mastermind says, I'll leave the sugar out in honor of Larry. Oh, was that nice? I guess that was nice. So Daniel says, time for a black flag op to suck us back in. Please no. But yes, you're not wrong. I just want you to be wrong. How about that, Daniel? I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want you to be wrong, right? He says, Alex Jones called one for the summer. Yeah, now I'm mad at Alex Jones because that guy's right a lot. Now I'm mad at him. I don't know Alex at all, but now I'm mad at him because I want him to be wrong. I don't want that to be true, but I could see it. Look, here's the one thing, Daniel. There is some what I think is a positive piece here, which is there's a chance that Americans actually see it, get that it's that, and don't respond. I think Americans are becoming so cynical. There is a chance that we can be like, nah, there's a chance. I think that's a chance. Don says, rebalancing what was way out of whack and giving the market a better foundation. Okay. That's the goal. I get that, Don. I do. Two worries. And I think only time will tell if this actually happens or not. Number one is is the damage done, whether it's emotional or real, and both are affected when it comes to markets because markets are emotional, that it can't be repaired? That's option one. Option two, does it just turn into a full-out trade war? Those are my two concerns. Now, I don't know. But should we rebalance? Yes, we should. I am though concerned that is the damage too much that it isn't worth it, right? That is my concern. Is it's so bad that it isn't worth it. So Lunatic says EMF radiation saturation is already horrible. Now the environment's isolated to a capsule on wheels. The environment's isolated to a capsule on wheels. Oh, that's what you mean. Oh, okay. Yeah. But I don't know where that is. I'm torn on this part, Lunatic. I don't know how bad this is. Like, I hear people say, like, EMF is the end of the world. It's destroying us all. It's affecting our brains. You got to wear them special caps to stop it from hitting your brain, right? That. And then people are like, it's not anywhere bad as it used to be. It's the same. There's this radiation everywhere. It doesn't really matter. I'm not sure on this one. I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I don't know. This is something that I haven't really looked at. I don't know enough about it. I'm not educated enough in this to figure out what is real on that one. I don't know. Shelly says, I got 3,181 miles on my Chinese e-bike. I get a cardio workout and groceries at the same time. I like that. That's pretty cool. Yes, that is good. So Eric says, tariffs at start of 2025 was 20 to 21% between U.S. and China. I think victory should be gauged off this baseline. Meaning that they have higher or meaning that we have lower? If it's higher versus lower right now, that would be a win because their tariff is 30, ours is 10. So they're above, we're below. So that in theory means we're winning. I'm not sure where you're going with that one. I don't know where you're going with that one. Maybe. Yeah. All righty. Morgan says, when the news broke, I immediately grabbed my phone, which is made in China. How will set the phone? I like that. Oh, I like that. Which is made in China. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Mike has bad knees says, if businesses are smart, they'll hedge their manufacturing in multiple locations. The problem is that costs cash. And then what happens to the guys who gamble, right? So I get your point, right? So I go, I'm going to think long-term. I'm going to manufacture in multiple places. But then Andrea says, I don't care. I'm going to gamble. I'm going to throw all my money into this place. And that becomes cheaper because she's only keeping in one. She's not rebuilding. So now she gets more market share. And then what if the tariffs don't fluctuate? I just gave Andrea market share because I just spent all this extra money rebuilding and changing everything for the long haul, but then nothing changes. Again, not saying you're wrong. For the long term, it makes sense. But what if Andrea's going to say, I don't care, I'll gamble? And somebody might. So that's an issue to be concerned about, right? Is that going to happen or not? And maybe everyone does it, right? So then if everyone does it, it won't matter. But Michael says, Musk wants a robot taxi service. True. And if he gets it, that will change everything. True. He does want that. It will change everything. You will see. Yes. 100%. Yes. Morgan says, thoughts about the gifted $400 million jet, Larry? Well, to be clear, obviously I don't like it. I don't. With that in mind, I feel like it's kind of expected. It sounds terrible. But yeah, I mean, the amount of grift in our government is massive, right? And officially, this jet isn't going to Trump. Officially, it's going to the government because we have to repair Air Force One or something like that, right? And the story was to repair Air Force One. And so to give us a plane, they're going to give us this plane instead, the Palace in the Sky, because they love America or because they love Trump. So officially, it's a gift to the American government officially, not to Trump directly. I mean, he's using it. The problem I have is, Morgan, is after Trump is done with the plane, it doesn't stay with America. It goes to his Presidential Library Foundation. That's true. So yes. Now, the story is, well, by that time, Air Force One will be repaired and upgraded So now we can just use Air Force One again. So we don't need the other plane because Air Force One is now set. That's the concept behind it. So it's not great, but it's not the end of the world. There's far worse bribery that's been happening and has happened. And at least it's not going directly to him. So I don't like it. But if this is what it takes to get a peace deal, is what's the phrase I'll use? It's not a hill I want to die on. It's not a battle I want to fight, even though it's wrong. But there are so many things that are wrong. Which one do I fight? I think it's not this one. I think it's not this one. That's my view. Some people will not like it, but I'm just telling you my honest opinion on it. So, yes. Masterman always says, if the Cybertruck can't kill the Tesla company, nothing can. True. True. Absolutely. That's absolutely true. Yes. All righty. Michael says, got to run mom's bedtime. Go take care of your mom. Please do so. That's awesome. Absolutely. All righty. Phil says, save up for the member show and make a big membership train. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. You know what? Now I got to schedule my membership show. I've got to schedule it now. Yes, absolutely. Michael goes on to say, Palestinian labor force for hotels. Yes. However, do I really want to make a second class of servant citizens in their own country? I mean, we've done it. We've colonized a lot. It's like we haven't done it before, but I think we should learn and not do that again. Morgan says Trump refugee hotel. You know, that would be better at least. At least they'd be getting service. That's better, I think. Yan says, I use my solar panels to charge my Tesla. Clean energy, but not virtue signaling prepping. Ooh, I like that. Check on Tesla sales in China. They compete with BYD and other Chinese companies. I like that. I like that, Jen. Yeah. That now, if you're using your solar panels, you're right. Then it's actually electric. I agree with you. That's true. Good point. Trade Dan, thinking for $2, says the plane, he puts in quotes, should be a loan, not a gift. Now that's valid. That solves the problem. If you make it a loan, not a gift, it solves the problem. But the point is they're trying to give it. You're right, which is why I don't like it, Trade Dan. You are correct. I don't like it because it should be a loan. Hey, you guys are in trouble. We got you. You know, keep it for whatever, 2 years, and then give it back when you're done. Whatever. I think that's amazing. I agree with you completely, but they ain't doing that. You're right. They're not doing it. So, yes. All right. Mike has bad news, says the federal government is not a jobs program. Yes, it is. You missed one important word there, or two important words. Should not be a jobs program. You forgot the should and be. The federal government should not be a jobs program, but it is. I wish it wasn't. Yes, I wish it wasn't. Yeah. So, yes. Let's see here. MW Knox says, Trump is an Arab at heart. Same taste for bling-ups or luxury. That may be, okay, I'm not going to go there, but okay. I'm going to walk away from that one. I'm going to walk away from that one. Yes. All righty. Let me grab a couple more of these if I could. Let's see here. Daniel says, I agree. Americans are waking up to it. That's what I'm hoping that happens. I really am hoping that if it does happen, that people actually see it, right? That people actually, I hope they do. I really do. I hope they do. I don't want us to fall for this kind of thing. We've fallen for it so many times, right? Yeah. Mass Manawa says, many Americans believe the purpose of the Israeli war in Gaza is to destroy Hamas, but that's what U.S. media repeated from Israel. But in Hebrew, Israeli officials every day admit hold on, do you have more? Real goal is, is cleaning people in a type that is about their ethnic. Yeah. What I would say is there are people who believe that. I'm not sure everybody would agree with that. That's what I'll say. Yeah. Lunar Eclipse, been a while. How are you? Larry, nothing nor nobody's perfect. True. Trump, first Republican president in modern history to be anti-war. True. More anti-war than Obama, Bush, Clinton, Biden, even Bernie. Don't know about Bernie. We don't know that because he didn't run, so we don't know that. But you're right on other ones. Clearly, he is more anti-war than Bush, Obama, Clinton, but that's true, 100%. Yeah, I agree with you. Look, I'm saying this trip, I'm not mad at. I actually liked his speech. I like what he's talking about. I'm not mad at this one. This is okay. I'm not mad at this. I'm with you. He's not perfect. Never said he was. I want change. I'm getting some. It's fine. Is it perfect change? No. I'm getting some change. It's fine. To have a president actually say what he just said, how the neocons have failed, which they have, and have a Republican president say that, to have a Republican president say that the nation builders have failed and threw trillions of dollars away and didn't know any better? Yeah, I'll take it. Look, will he actually do the thing? I hope he will. If he gets his Nobel Peace Prize, take it. I will write a letter myself. Give him the prize. He solved the Middle East and he solved Ukraine. Take the prize, man. Take it. Happy. Take it. And I'll come on a show and say how awesome he is. Well, no, I won't. I'll say how awesome he was for getting the prize. That I will say. Yes, that I'll say. I 100% will. I'll absolutely give him full credit for it. Absolutely. Yeah. Mike Hisbadney says, a new Air Force One was supposed to be built, but Boeing is taking their time. Well, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I think that's, yeah. I of course. So, all righty. Let Liberty says, I would like to know why the GOP are cool with the big, beautiful bill, but when Dems are in charge, they act like they want a single voter issue. Yeah. They're struggling with their bill. They're struggling with it. They're not okay, but they're struggling with it. Last I checked, they hadn't passed it. I don't know if that's changed, but last I checked, they had not passed it. They're struggling with it. So, yeah, they're having trouble. That's for sure. And NW Knox says, we need to distance ourselves from Israel. If it takes a bribe from Qatar to make that happen, I'm fine with it. I don't want to distance ourselves from Israel as a nation. I want to distance ourselves from being so damn involved in their foreign policy. But if we still want to make sales with the Israelis, go back and forth with them, there's a lot of dual Israeli-American citizens, which I'm not sure I'm happy about, but there are lots of dual citizens. I live in New York. A lot of people I know go to Israel for vacation, and Israelis come here all the time on vacation. I don't want to distance myself from Israel. I want to distance ourselves from their foreign policy. That should not be our foreign policy. We shouldn't back everything that they decide to do. We don't back every other country, right? And what they do, they're the only country we back everything they do. If Israelis want to come visit America, we want to visit them, we want to trade back and forth, please. Great. They make a lot of patents. They make a lot of patents. Buy their stuff, whatever. All good. I don't care. Whatever. Great. But their foreign policy should not be our foreign policy. That's the issue, right? That's the issue. So anyway, all righty. I will grab a couple more of these if I can. Oh, loaded with spyware. Yeah. That's true. That's all true. I completely agree. Yes. I completely agree. Yes. All righty. Another lady says, so what I'm hearing is a bunch of MAGA will be calling to primary Massey because of what people already know. Yeah, look, to be forward, it's a little off topic, but they can try to primary Massey all they want. Massey's untouchable. Untouchable. This is something that, look, I'm not a Republican, but if I was a Republican, I absolutely would say, leave this alone. This is not a hill. I use the hill you want to die on a block today, but I use it again. If you're a Republican, this is not a hill you want to die on. Go primary somebody else. Don't do this. It's a waste. AIPAC threw $1 million at a local election the last time trying to stop him, and they got their butt kicked. It's not a thing. Leave him alone. If you're a Republican, don't throw your money at this. Move on. Go beat some Democrats someplace. You're not going to beat Massey. Leave him alone until you don't want to die. And he loves when he beats you. Like, it makes him feel awesome. You know? That's it. Massman Hour says, I don't accept Israeli influence in our government as much as Larry, I guess. I'm not sure where you're going with that. Are you saying you don't? that you're saying you don't believe that the influence is true? Or are you saying, I'm not sure what this is saying. You don't accept that it's accurate? Or let me tell you where I stand, just so we're clear on this. There is no doubt AIPAC and the Israeli government has massive influence in American government. It's obvious. If you don't believe that, I don't know what to tell you. It's everywhere. You can see it. Massey literally said everybody in Congress except for him has an AIPAC guy. So of course there's influence. Of course they do. What I'm saying is we shouldn't be so influenced by them. But let's not distance ourselves from the country itself. Like, just because we're not influenced by Uzbekistan, but it doesn't mean we don't want to trade with them. If they want to buy or sell them, we should go ahead. So yes. Okay. This is me. Go on. We should cut ties with Israel completely. They have broken ways. I disagree. So okay, that's what we disagree. I disagree. I'm not. Yeah. We should just be very open. Okay. It's actually beginning to work with the Not Mastermind. It's slow, but it is actually working. And that is, you are finding more people recognize how powerful AIPAC is and push against it. You're finding mainstream people. You're finding big podcasters, public people going, why are we doing everything Israel says? So I do think it is getting better. I would like us to get to a point to where Israel is just one of our allies. That's what I would like, right? Just one of our allies. That will be way better than that. Daniel says, make AIPAC register as foreign. True. I'm in. Yes. Yes. I mean, they are. So they should. I'm with you. I'm not fighting you. 100%, Daniel. 100%. Glenn says, there have been many times when America did not support Israel policy. Okay. Not many. No. Not many. Israel under Reagan. Okay. That was what, 40 years ago? 50? Obama. That was 20 years ago, right? Bush. Big pharma's 1,000 times more powerful than AIPAC. When it comes to internal domestic policy, yes. I'm not sure foreign policy. Not sure. AIPAC is not Israelis, Americans. Is not Israeli Americans. 78% of Americans support Israel. That's not. Okay, a couple of things. Let me cover a couple of these. Let me read the whole thing over again. There have been many times when America did not support Israeli policy. Under Reagan, F-15s, AWACS, Bush, Obama, UN resolution. Big Pharma is 1,000 times more powerful than AIPAC. AIPAC is not Israelis, Americans. 75 to 80% of Americans support Israel. Larry, that's why we support them. That's okay. Let me cover each of those. It's not many times. A few times we have not done what Israel wants to do. Not many, a few. Second, Big Pharma absolutely is more powerful in domestic policy. That's true, not foreign policy. AIPAC is not Israelis, Americans. No, AIPAC is the Israeli government. That's true. It's Israeli government. I know tons of Israelis and Jews in New York who don't agree with what we're doing, or even what Israel is doing, or what America's doing. They have all different. Jews are not a monolith. I mean, I'm not a Jew, but I'm just telling you. I know enough Jews, and I think if anyone's Jewish listening, it's true. They're not a monolith. They don't all think the same way. It's just not a thing, right? So when I'm talking about Israel, I'm speaking about, to be clear, the Israeli government, the current government being Netanyahu. That's what I'm talking about. Not Jews, not Israeli Americans. I'm agreeing with you on that. They're not a monolith. They're not the same. You can find if you grab 4 Jews out of Manhattan, each one thinks differently about Israel. Each one thinks differently. They're not a monolith at all. So yes, in that piece. And then say 75 to 80% of Americans support Israel. That's not true. 75 to 80% of Americans support Israel's right to defend itself, Israel's right to exist, not their foreign policy. That's not true. You'd have to show me a series of polls that shows that Americans specifically support Israel's foreign policy. They do not support Israel destroying Gaza. That's Americans. No. If that were true, we'd have President Harris right now. If that were true. So, yeah. Glenn goes on to say, AIPAC is an American lobby, not Israeli government. Not true. That's okay. They're officially that, but they are not that. No, AIPAC is foreign. That's okay. Legally, you are correct. In reality, you are not correct. In reality, you are not correct. Legally, you are correct. In reality, you're not. In reality, it's a lobbying firm for the Israeli government. That's true. So yes. And you're right. And it's like you say, had problems with Bibi. True. That's my point. Jews and Israelis, I know those two separate things. You can be Israeli and not Jewish, and Jewish and not Israeli. I get that. Both of those groups of people, even when they overlap, are not a monolith. So, yes, that's it. So, Glenn says, with the debate this, you got to come on our show then. You got to come on the next member show, and this can be our topic. I'm happy to have that happen. So, there we go. So, Mike has bad news says, I never get bothered by Israel trying to influence our politicians. I am bothered by politicians being, ooh, good point. Check and mate, Mike. Good point. Yes. You know, you're right. These countries should be trying to influence us. It's their job. They should be trying to influence us. They should be. We shouldn't be influenced, though. That is a valid point. Guys, I'm going to ask you if you could click the button known as like. It does matter. The button does matter. Please click it. I know I bug you all the time. Please do so. If you haven't shared it, if you haven't reposted, please do so. It's great. Please, if you can, become a member, $29 per month on YouTube or on Rumble. Click the button known as join or the button known as subscribe on Rumble. I appreciate all of them to the best of our ability. Please do that if you can. It really does matter. And remember, with the algorithm, at the end, once I'm done, please put a comment in the in this after it's over. Put a comment. I'm going to ask you if you would tell me, what do you think about any aspect, one aspect of Trump's foreign policy? Like, what do you think about him on Ukraine? What do you think about him in, Israel? What do you think about him in Middle East? Whatever, tariffs. What is your opinion on one aspect of Trump's foreign policy? And I will respond. I absolutely will respond. Remember, if this is not live and you're watching this afterwards and it's not live, you can see two videos pop up. Please click on one of them right now. I will see you all very soon.